This is 98.7 ESPN WEPN FM, New York. I'm Josh Scharf with Evan and Liam. We're here to talk about some breaking news. Paul George is traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this trade. So I think this is a very beneficial trade for both teams that were involved. But if I had to choose one team that benefited the most, I would have to say it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because the Thunder made it to the playoffs this year but didn't go really far. They were mostly just relying on Russell Westbrook. Sure, guys like Oladipo and Steve Adams, they helped Westbrook at some times, but they were relying on him to make all the clutch shots and make a triple-double every single night. That's really who they're relying on. Now that he has a guy like Paul George to help him out a little bit, I think he will be able to ease up and save his energy, and I think they'll benefit a lot from that, and I think they could go far in the playoffs now.
Well, I think the Pacers are going to benefit from more. You have Victor Oladipo, a fresh face, and has a lot more experience in the Pacers backcourt in the NBA right now. And also waiving Monte Ellis gives Victor Oladipo time to shine, and Sabonis has more experience in the front court in the Pacers team, and I think they'll help out a lot.
All right. I think this is kind of a decent trade for the Pacers, but I also think this is a solid trade for the Thunder, but it will take away from Russell Westbrook's touches, and I don't know how Russell Westbrook could deal with that, because in the Warriors, when Durant went there, they were all passing. They pass, and the guy with the open shot would take it. At Thunder, Westbrook likes to have the ball in his hands. He's like James Harden. He has to have the ball in his hands. He has to make the play. And I feel like Paul George is similar to that, so I don't know how that's going to work. But I also think if they don't make the conference finals, I think Paul George will leave. Because I think that he wants to go far, and I don't think if he sees that they don't make it to the conference finals and they can't beat out the Rockets or the Spurs to get there, I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah, that's true. I think there might be some chemistry problems between George and Westbrook, because they are both stars that are used to being the star of the show on their separate teams. So together, I hope they work well, because if they do, that'll be a big plus for the Thunder.
Well, let's move on to hockey with Marcus Johansson getting traded to the New Jersey Devils. I think he'll help out. Him and Terrell Hall will probably be the best duo right now in the NHL in the East.
Yeah, I think this will really help out the Devils. Will give them another scoring threat, and they still have all their 7 picks in the 2018 upcoming draft, trading away a second and third round pick that weren't theirs. So I think this is a solid trade for both teams, because the Caps could not keep Johansson because of the cap space, and the Devils get a solid scoring piece to add with Johansson.
Yeah, I feel like the Devils are at this point that all teams go through at some time, where they're so close to clicking and start winning games. They're really close, and I think this trade could give them the thing that puts them over the edge, so they start winning games.
All right, our first caller, we have Joe Schmo on the line.
So you guys are talking hockey. I'm a big Predators fan here in New York, and I was wondering, obviously they made the playoffs as an 8 seed last year, barely snuck in, upset a lot of people, and made it to the Stanley Cup. Came up a little bit short, but is this a team that's a pretender, or are they a contender?
Well, I think this team is a contender. They have a great defensive team leading by PK Subban, and I think this is a team on the rise. They just made the playoffs, but let me tell you, like the Kings did when they first won their first Stanley Cup, they were the 8th seed, and they went on a run, and they won a second cup. So I think this is a team on the rise. I think this is a team to look out for, and I think this is a team that's ready to contend.
Okay, so let's move on to the NFL world. So recently, the NFL Top 100, which is if you're not familiar with that, it's a list of the best players in the National Football League, and this list is made by all the players and coaches in the NFL who vote on this list. Now, one of the biggest snubs and one of the biggest stories is that New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning was not present on the top 100, even though a guy like Alex Smith was at number 81.
Yeah, I think this is a kind of a snub, but not a very big snub. I think Eli Manning would go in the high 80s, low 90s, in the 90s, because he didn't really have that great of a year. But I think he's still better than Alex Smith. I think Alex Smith is the average quarterback. If you're not better than Alex Smith, you need to find another quarterback. If you're better than Alex Smith, you're good. And I think Eli Manning is a little better than Alex Smith last season, but I don't think he was really that big of a snub. I think there probably could have been some other bigger snubs. But what do you think?
Well, I agree with Josh. You'd be in the low 90s, but look who we're talking about. Eli Manning, the guy who beat Tom Brady twice, and the Patriots, and in the undefeated season in 2007. I don't know why he didn't make the top 100.
Well, I have to disagree with Josh because